Sorry to end the last stream so early. It was because my sister just kept on crying because she couldn't grab the blanket, and it was, you guys probably wouldn't want to hear it. She's calm now. She's just playing her iPad. I think this game's a scary game, so yay. Okay, maybe it's like a scary puzzle game or something. Okay, can I go in these rooms? I have a notepad. This is just... Oh god, I'm gonna have to hide in the closet, aren't I? Oh crap, I'm stuck. Crap. Well, looks like we gotta redo it again. Oh god, this is gonna be a scary game, isn't it? Oh god. Let's just do this again. My sister's watching weird stuff. I don't know what. But I don't know if this game has like flashing lights or anything, so just be aware. So let's try this. Do I go in here? Am I in the same room? I think I am. Wait, do we have to turn this light on? Is it on? I think it's on. Oh god, I have no idea what to actually do now. Maybe I'm going to take this, turn this light off or something. That scared me so badly. My heart just dropped.
What did that?
It scared me. It went, ah, boom!
How did it do that?
Look, it fell over. Come look. Look, it fell over. You see? It fell over. It scared me.
Can I try that?
You won't know how to play, okay? Oh, I'm scared. What? Should I answer it? Should I answer the phone?
Did someone pick up the phone?
Shh, shh.
Are you in a maze too? Just when you find it. Ow! When I have to go. Stop messing with the light! No one's in here!
It's more funny than scary. It just sounds like him just somebody just smashing just like hitting the light switch and just going, open the door. Day 7 in the maze. I'm not still sane. I can't. They're lying. How did I arrive? No sleep. The monster. I heard it. It heard me. I knows everything I know. How to avoid? You should need to stay go. If it goes out light, you need to stay away from it, and maybe you need to have the light. I think. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think it says you need to have lights stay on. Oh no.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I don't know what a code is. I should find some way to get up there. Yes. Yeah, no crap. Yeah, no crap, dingus. Just slowly glitchly push the box this way. Where is it? Okay, push it over. Push it over.
I think that
Oh gosh, that's gonna be a locked room. That's gonna be the room with him. The thing in it. Oh no. Oh no.
Did you get my Tommy Jackson?
What's this? Come look at this.
What? What is he that
I have no idea. Oh, okay, there's clothes. Should I go? Wait, is that a secret door? There's a secret. You just scared me. Don't do that, please. Oh gosh. Can't pick these up, can I? Day 3 of the maze. I've been noticing lights going out more and more frequently, and I'm starting to actually think that there's something else here besides me. Whether I'm going to have to believe it or not, I could have sworn I saw a movement in the shadows, but I can never be too sure of myself. The shadows are watching. I found a bookshelf that shut behind me upon entering, and now I'm here. I just hope the power doesn't run out with me before I'm done exploring. Otherwise, I might be left here and go crazy. The code to the door was 52371 for future reference. If I see something else moving in the darkness, then usually go wait. Whatever I turn on the lights. Oh, it usually goes away when I turn the lights on. 1 sec. I'm gonna write this code down. 1 sec. Okay, I typed it on my car. So let's go back to the room. And for reference, let's go find the way back. Oh, why did the... Oh god, this is where it begins. This is where it all starts. let's go check everything. Wing wing. Hello? Yes. No, I hate that note. How long have I been streaming this game? Jesus. 10 minutes. Alright. Okay, so I can't get in there. Ooh, I missed this. Is there a light switch anywhere? Because I'm deathly scared. Here's a light switch. Nope. Get up there. Nope. There's nothing there. So this is where I all started. I forgot about this place completely. Stupid welded shut. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm ready. I'm pretty sure I've checked everything. Did anyone else just see the heartbeat? For like a split second or something? Because I swear to gosh I heard a heartbeat. It's just a stupid carpet. Oh my god, I'm being so paranoid. Yeah, I'm sure I'm ready. That's it? Bruh. That was a good game though. So there's two things I should do. Maybe I'm gonna try that again. What's this game called? Light bulb re-illumination. Let's see if I can. Testing access code. What I just found. Oh my god, this works. There we go. That's where you get that. That's where you get that special ending. By the way, the code for this chapter 2 is "This is your fault." For some reason, I broke the game. Yippee! So I'm at 15 minutes. Alright. That sounds good. Shut up, Discord. Go away, Discord. I'm not checking you, Discord. Cat? Cat! Yes, cat! 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 Kitty cat! Oh my god. You don't see any closing animations or nothing? Cat, can you move? Unplug my mouse because I don't need that. What the crap? Okay, cat, can you please... Can you not, please? So there's probably going to be more stuff in the future for this one, so... Okay, I'm safe now. No, God, no, please, no, please, no. Okay, day 2. Going forward in this place, the hardest thing I've learned is that sleep will not come easily in this place. The lighting doesn't seem to want to be turned off, so not only am I having to sleep to a carpet on top of hardwood floor, I try exploring more like this maze-like place going back and forth from where I woke up. The skeleton I saw yesterday seemed to have vanished, but that's probably just me forgetting the layout. However, I did find a hole behind some of the paintings. It led nothing, but there was a keypad, so I expect to spend the entirety of tomorrow trying to guess the code. So no knowledge of why I am here, who I am, or why I'm alone. That just sounds like a horror movie, my friend. That just sounds like a horror movie, my friend. I mean, it sort of is a horror movie, but... So... Is this thing private, actually, bro? Oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna turn this off to make sure that no one actually sees this stuff. Cat? Nope, no cat, no cat, no cat, no cat, no cat. No thank you, cat. I'm just checking to make sure that the stream is actually public. Cause I think I ding-dong flippin' messed up. Stop knocking at my door. Stop it, please, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. double green screensavers. Hitting corners. Ow! Ow! Cat! Ow! Ow! Cat! Ow! Goodbye, screensaver. You got double screensavers. Sorry for this boring, terrible gameplay. There we go. Now we should be able to there we go. Now you should be able to see the stream. Not have a stupid blank thing. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with me? Alright, now the stream should be working, up and running. You're gonna have to rewatch the stream to understand some of the stuff, because, yeah, I screwed up. I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. But it's probably nothing good. This game is ominous, and I would recommend... Wait. Play it. Give it a thumbs up. Great game. Well made. Amazing quality. Amazing fun game to play. Scary? Yes. This door's what shut now. Anytime soon. Yes, I know I missed a door up there. I'm going to go get it. Stop. Where's the light? Switch. Yes, it will. There's a murderer chasing you. Yes, it will. Cramped jam. What? I don't understand that. Jiff. There's so many rooms to explore in this game. Oh my god. It's insane. Like, this game is huge. Okay, it's wide shut. Yeah, I'm not gonna get that open, so... Is there any doors I missed? Because I probably missed a few. Killer Queen only 17th. Is it wedged? Doesn't even open at all. Huh? Let's bring this over here too. There could be something important in there. I'm not sure. There could be the answer to global warming in there. Probably not, but I mean, let's give it a shot. last event. Oh god, I'm gonna have to hide from the monster in there, aren't I? Oh boy. Not prepared for that. Another notebook. You've already fell into my trap. Yep. Nope. 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 Shut up. Shut. Oh my god, that was scary. I haven't seen the dang thing. Okay. This door is where I forgot. Nothing important in there. We've already read that note. We've already been in there. Let's go try this ending again. Alright, so it keeps your progress. That's actually really nice. Okay. Let's see if it catches me again. Do I dare exit? Cat! My cat, what the heck? What the crap, cat? Cat, stop. Cat? You just not. Oh my god, cat. I love you, but you cannot do this. The worst thing about this, I'm doing this in pitch black. I mean, it's day, so I can have a little light coming from my curtains, but the rest of them is black. Oh my god. Is he gonna be in this room? I swear to god. That was scary. Do you still think this is useless now? Pick it up. Okay, so we did all those things already. Let's go the other way in the kitchen. That's not terrifying. Pick it up. Pick it up. I really just want to pick up that knife and be like, go away, stabby stabby. Go away. Me, my life would be like, go away, stabby stabby. So this is locked. This game is so scary. Jeez. Nope. He's gonna catch me. that's the farthest you can get, actually. Alright. Sorry I'm spending a lot of time on this game. It's just fun. I think that's the end of the game, so play something else. It's actually not scary and terrifying. That almost made me pee my pants. I'm just kidding. I would not do that. Let's go to the games page, because we just found this game on the games page, and that was kind of fun. Total shock fills your body. Project Lazarus.
Double points!